Welcome back to the Morning Blend. Well, the pandemic caused a lot of workplace issues and many employees are now reassessing their goals. Are you one of them?
Yeah, if so, then listen up. There's something very important you should ask for. Beth Ridley is a leadership expert and workplace culture consultant. She joins us now with the power of these one-on-one check-ins. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Good to see you both.
Here's the deal. There's this great resignation. A lot of people are not just questioning their career goals. They're leaving their places of employment. So bosses, managers need to, I think, be aware of the fact that people are reassessing and thinking sometimes, hey, I'm sick of this workload, for example.
That's right. I think when an employee leaves, it should never be a surprise to the boss, right? If you're sort of plugged in, you can pick up on signals, lack of motivation, maybe the desire to stretch themselves in new ways. And sometimes there's solutions either within the job that they have or within the company, right? So it should never be a surprise. And then if they do leave, you really want to wrap your arms around the remaining employees because there's extra work on them, extra stress and burden. So yeah, you want to make sure that they feel supported.
It's interesting because I have several friends in that situation where they're like, I'm doing the job of two people and they're just really getting burned out, you know, and not being able to find new people to take those roles or just being hesitant in general. So I think that there's so much truth to all of what you're saying. Talk about the one-on-ones. What is a one-on-one? What should be discussed in the one-on-one, and why are they so important?
So I know it can feel intimidating, like one-on-one with your boss, but if it's structured right, the whole purpose is that you're focusing on the employee as a person, as a human, not as a worker. And so it's not work update, it's all about the person, right? And so if you structure it that you're just there to listen, because sometimes employees just want to be heard, you don't have to like fix any problems, but you're there to invest in them as a human. That always feels good. And so I think that is a great way to show that you really value and appreciate employees.
It strikes me that that's what it means to be a good friend, is to just really listen to someone and let them talk about themselves. Good bosses probably should have that thought, I would think, in the back of their mind, like what does it take to be a good friend, because that same type of relationship might work with my employee. One of the things that I feel they're asking more and more in these one-on-one check-ins are, what are your career goals? And bosses are mindful of what you might want to do even within the company to advance your career.
That's right. I mean, as a boss, you can't be nervous if someone articulates that they, you know, have aspirations that maybe go beyond their current job. You know, because again, if you want to keep the employee in the work in the company overall, you want to be able to support where they want to go, or at least be aware of what they need to be successful in their current job. So I think it's about having that relationship, but it's a matter of like trust. So someone actually feels comfortable speaking up and sharing, because if they don't trust you and have that relationship, they're not going to tell you anyway.
Well, and I love the fact that you point out, yes, you need to, you know, accept that there may be bigger goals, you know, things like that. And the leaders are not mind readers, you say. That's something that is, you have to remember, unless you speak up or say something, they don't know how you're feeling or what your concerns are or your aspirations. So all of those things. But overall, these one-on-ones, you say they really do boost morale. And that is the point, is feeling valued.
Yeah, totally. And the nice thing is they're free to do. They don't take that much time, and a little bit of investment in treating someone like a friend does go a long way.
Yeah, so many good benefits, like building psychology, the morale building, as Tiff mentioned, resolving problems and concerns before they arise. Do you have any tips for effective check-ins?
Yeah, a couple of tips. So first of all, just actually do them. That's probably the most number one.
Number one, have them.
And actually do them consistently. So as a boss, if you only do it when there's a problem, you can kind of see through that. That doesn't build trust. So do them consistently, make them fun. Right? So as a boss, you should go in with a positive attitude, right? So it's not a time for you to unload or to kind of complain together, but go in with the right frame of mind. It's all about being positive. The focus should be on the employee. Don't make it too formal, because that can be intimidating, but have a little bit of structure. I think maybe like 1 or 2 questions. How are you feeling today? How are you feeling overall? Is there anything I can do to support you? And again, you don't have to feel like you have to come up with an answer or a solution. Simply allowing someone to be heard is really good. And you know, you can look for ways to make it kind of inviting. So maybe it's at a coffee shop. You could do a walking meeting. If it's virtual, think about the right time of day. Maybe, you know, Thursday or Friday towards the end of the day when they're kind of winding down that week.
We're a little happier then too.
A little happier.
Happy to go on the weekend. I think that's great. I know you've got so many great tips at your website, and people can always find out so much more about what you do or have you come into their business. So I just thought this was wonderful.
I do too.
Schedule the number one is
yeah,
do
have them, right? Exactly.
Yeah. Thanks, Beth.
And to rewatch this segment or send it to someone that you care about, you can go to our website. Maybe it's one of your kids, right? It's themorningblend.com.